Okay, so this is bad. This is like worst case scenario bad. My brakes are destroyed on my front right wheel, and we're 40 miles from the nearest town, out in the middle of nowhere in Death Valley. How cool is this? Trona Pinnacles. This is outside Death Valley in California. Never really knew this was here. Now, Death Valley has the hottest recorded temperature on Earth. But as you could tell, I'm wearing pretty warm clothes because we are in the middle of winter. And so we're gonna be doing a little bit different trip through the desert. If you see videos around Death Valley on YouTube, everyone always comes out here to see the hottest temperatures and see what it's like. And there's a lot more to Death Valley than just the heat. There's some really interesting things when you actually get out into the desert and do some exploring. So our goal is to traverse Death Valley all the way from the southern end to the northern tip. And we're not going to take any major roads. The route that we're following can only be accessed by off-roading vehicles. The biggest challenge for this trip is that we are in winter. So it is cold, but also our days are super short. So we have a lot of places that we want to get to, but we only have so much daylight. So now that the sun's up and I've had my coffee, it's time to pack up and get moving. But I do want to say special thanks to Goal Zero for sponsoring this trip and this video. And I'm using their 1500X Yeti to basically power everything.
This portable power station gives you clean energy anywhere you go. I'm using it as a dual battery for my overland rig, which allows me to have power for all my devices. At its core, there's a lithium-ion battery that could keep my portable fridge running for over 60 hours or recharge my laptop more than 30 times. I can charge the 1500X using the solar panels which I have mounted on the roof of my Jeep, or I can just hook it directly into my truck. Having this dual battery setup with solar panels gives me unlimited off-the-grid power for anywhere that I want to travel. I'll include a link down below in the description to where you can see more about this battery specifically and all of the different batteries that Goal Zero offers. Now the real adventure begins. My buddy Ben has come up with a route that starts at the southern end of Death Valley with a goal of seeing some of the most iconic spots throughout the park that you can only access with an off-road vehicle. I've personally challenged myself to mainly film only using my 35mm lens with my A7S Mark III. It's forcing me to focus on what I'm shooting versus how I'm shooting it. I did bring my drone along as well, however I can only fly it in a few spots outside the national park. The road's kind of completely washed out here. We've been driving in circles trying to find the route. When we're out on these trails, there's not always a clear path of where we need to go, especially some of these trails that we're on right now, because it is all just old dirt roads. So apparently this was the spot where they caught Charles Manson, and that's what made this place so infamous. It used to be an old ranch, and then Charles Manson and his followers, I guess, used it as a hideout. So it looks like this was the original house, but it's completely burned down. It's just basically the foundation. There's nothing left. It does look like there's one building still standing here. Oh. There was a window at one point. Road lunch.
Road lunch, baby.
At Barker Ranch. Weird history.
Weird history. Weird history. No better place to eat a sandwich.
Yeah, how far behind are we?
Let's not think about it.
It's definitely been slow going. We have about an hour and a half left of light, and it's just been rock garden after rock garden on this section. We're trying to get down to the main part of Death Valley, Furnace Creek and that whole area, but getting off of this trail from Barker Ranch, it's been like just rock garden after rock garden, and these rock gardens are tough, like slow going. It's just taking a lot more time than we anticipated.
We were supposed to be out of this canyon like by 11, 12 o'clock, and it is now 3:30. Sun's going down. It's cold, and we got nothing done that we had on the schedule for today besides this route. We were supposed to go do all the touristy things that you typically do in Death Valley, but we missed basically all that. And we're gonna skip it because tomorrow we really want to be set up so that we can do a bunch of the stuff that we have like planned out, and some of these really cool spots to go exploring with our trucks. I mean, it's just the way it is. Like with daylight savings time, the short days, it's amazing how little you can get done. So we're getting out of this canyon. We're gonna drive up to a place
place called Beatty, and we might be doing it through the dark just because we want to get up there. And tomorrow it's going to be get up probably before sunrise and try to get out.
Pretty good.
Well, that was a cold night. My tent has become an icebox. I got layers on, 3 on top, a couple on the bottom. I slept in 2 sleeping bags. Desert is not forgiving in the winter. Time to get up and get moving, get some coffee, because we gotta get on the trail early today. So last night we actually stayed out of the park. We found a little spot outside a town called Beatty. It's BLM land, so no flight restrictions with the drone, which it's great to be able to take that up and just get some big landscape shots to just see the space that, we're in. It just makes such a difference. Trying to shoot everything on this 35 millimeter, you can do some pretty cool stuff with a camera on tripod and you can get some good looking footage, but there's something about having those drone shots and having a camera that's way up in the sky. It's so unique and it's so cool to be able to see these areas from, a camera that's flying a couple hundred feet above us. It puts you in the place, like you can really share where you're at versus, only seeing things from ground level. So from here, we're jumping right back into Death Valley. It's only a few miles away. And then we're going right into Titus Canyon, and we got to get going.
This canyon was named after Morris Titus, who in 1906 left with a group of prospectors from a nearby town to explore the canyon. As their supplies dwindled, Titus left in search of water but was never seen again.
Well, that's pretty amazing. With Death Valley, that's like one of the coolest reveals coming out of that canyon. But yeah, the reality of making videos like this, a lot of just back and forth, stop and wait, set up the cars, go through the shot. I mean, we're constantly doing that. So this is the racetrack playa. This is where you see the shots of like the moving rocks across the earth. It's really unfortunate. There's all these signs that say like no cars, no vehicles. And then someone came out and just did donuts out here. And it's just like, you know, places like this, as soon as you do that, they're like ruined. It's not gonna be fixed and it's not going away. Those marks are gonna be here for a long time. And it just ruins it for everyone else. There's a reason that they say no motor vehicles out here.
As the sun dipped low in the sky, we had to make a choice. Either camp up here near the racetrack playa, or head down Lippincott Pass and try to finish it before the sunset.
So we just stopped because I have some sort of issue with something going on in the front. I don't know what it is. Just like a so not a good sound, especially when we're out here in the middle of nowhere. That's what's broken. Right there. My brakes on my front right tire completely busted, and we're like 40 miles from the nearest town, and we're in the middle of Death Valley, and it's gonna be in the 20s tonight. I think we can drive as is. It's making this terrible grinding sound, so we're gonna get into camp tonight
reassess, look at it again, see if there's any more damage happening. And then tomorrow it's about 30-ish miles out, and I'm hoping that at least get there. And it's Sunday, but hopefully someone is available to fix it enough so I can get home. Ugh, that sound is awful. Just a constant, like, metal on metal grinding. Ugh. Not good.
Okay, so we decided to camp at Hot Springs in Death Valley. I was able to drive 10 miles here to this camp spot. So hoping that I can make the extra 30 out. We got to take care of what's kind of most important right now, which is food, warmth, shelter, because we are still out in the middle of Death Valley. And then we'll tackle this in the morning. Could have been a lot worse. I mean, in reality, we could have been stuck out like in the middle of the trail and like the tire completely off or something like that, or I had to leave the Jeep. So I mean, at least I could still drive it. We'll just keep doing what we do and see if we can get this fixed tomorrow. That's the plan.
Unsure if my Jeep would make it out, we continued our journey across the valley and headed for our final mountain pass.
All right, well, verdict's in. Jeep's broken. They could fix it here, but they'd have to have the parts. And unfortunately, there's no parts in the area, and they can't get one until Tuesday. So I need to get back to home today. I could come back up and get the Jeep in a few days, but the issue is we'll have to find a way to get back home, drive all the way back up here. It just, yeah. It's gonna make more sense just to tow it home. So I have to get my Jeep towed like 5 hours all the way back to Southern Orange County. And then get it fixed from there. So, fortunately, that's how this trip ends. Getting it towed back.
It's easy to get upset when things go wrong, but we need to remember that these kind of things are out of our control. In the end, we still had an awesome trip discovering Death Valley, and we got to disconnect from the rest of the world for a few days. It seems like we've only scratched the surface of what's out here, and I can't wait to get back and explore some more.